Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. All right, Lions Nation, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you is a game changer. And it's got everything to do with a recent move that could define the upcoming NFL season for Detroit. Yes, we're talking about the recent trade involving Jameis Winston, the quarterback who is now heading to the Motor City. And that's not just a headline. It's a strategic move that could boost the Lions' chances of finally making that deep playoff run everyone's been dreaming of. But let's unpack this step by step, because it's not just about a player changing teams. It's about how this impacts the Lions' entire roster, their season, and maybe even their future. So here's the scoop. The New York Giants, a team that's been kind of in a precarious spot at quarterback, decided to part ways with Jameis Winston, among other options. The Giants currently have a pretty crowded quarterback room, with Russell Wilson, Jackson Dart, and Jameis Winston all in the mix. But as training camp progresses, it's clear that Winston's days on the roster might be numbered. The Giants are in a bit of a dilemma. They need to improve other areas of their team, and trading Winston could be a smart move to fill those gaps. And guess what? The team that makes the most sense to benefit from this is none other than our Detroit Lions. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jared Goff is our guy, right? Absolutely, Goff is solid, and he's proven he can lead this team with consistency and poise. But the truth is, the Lions' depth at quarterback has been a concern. Throughout the preseason, Hendon Hooker and Kyle Allen haven't quite shown enough to instill full confidence that they can step in if Goff gets injured or needs a breather. Kyle Allen did have a decent bounce back in the second preseason game against the Falcons, completing 7 out of 8 passes for 2 touchdowns. That was promising, no doubt. But Hendon Hooker has continued to struggle, especially in that first game against the Chargers, and it's clear he still needs time to develop. What does that mean for the Lions? It means they need a more reliable backup, someone who can come in and keep the offense moving while also bringing a spark to the sideline. That's where Jameis Winston truly shines. Imagine him as a backup. His fiery personality, his leadership, and his ability to ignite the team's energy could be exactly what the Lions need in tough moments. Winston isn't just a backup, he's a motivator, a guy who can rally the squad and keep everyone fired up. His speeches, his intensity, those are qualities that resonate well with head coach Dan Campbell's style. You know Campbell loves players with that kind of fire, and Winston would fit right in. And let's not forget the potential upside if Winston has to step into the starting role. Last season, he was playing for the Browns, and despite their chaotic offense, he managed to put up 121 yards and 13 touchdowns. That's not bad at all, especially considering the circumstances. Winston is a gunslinger, he's got a strong arm, and he's unafraid to take risks. For a team like Detroit, which has Super Bowl aspirations, having a quarterback who can come in and make plays, who can stretch the field and keep defenses honest, is crucial. Now, I want to pause here for a second because this is a big point. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. Back to the bigger picture, this move isn't just about filling a roster spot. It's a strategic decision that could give the Lions an edge, especially in the postseason. Having a reliable backup quarterback who can also push Goff in practice and serve as a spark off the bench is invaluable. Think about how that could impact the team's chemistry, their confidence, and ultimately, their performance in high-pressure situations. Jameis Winston, with his experience and fiery attitude, could really elevate the overall dynamic of this Lions squad. And when you look at the current state of the NFC North, things are heating up. The Vikings, Packers, and Bears are all making moves, and the Lions need to stay ahead of the curve. Adding a player like Winston, who has starting experience and that competitive edge, could be what pushes Detroit over the top. It's also worth noting that this move could serve as a catalyst for other roster adjustments. maybe even prompting the Lions to be more aggressive in free agency or in the upcoming draft. The goal is clear: build a roster that's not just good on paper but resilient, hungry, and ready to dominate. Now, let's talk about the chemistry and locker room dynamics. Jameis Winston is a guy who's known for his leadership and his ability to rally teammates. Imagine him in the locker room, sharing his experience, his passion, and his drive with the younger quarterbacks like Hendon Hooker. That kind of veteran presence can be instrumental in developing the team's overall mindset. Plus, Winston's personality fits well with the Lions' culture: intense, driven, and unafraid to speak his mind. That's exactly the kind of energy Dan Campbell wants to foster, and I believe Winston could help elevate that environment even further. From a tactical standpoint, Winston's skill set complements the Lions' offensive scheme. He's got a strong arm, capable of making deep throws, and he's also mobile enough to extend plays when needed. Even if he's not the starting quarterback, his presence on the roster adds a layer of security. It allows Goff to focus on his game, without the constant worry of being one injury away from chaos. And if Goff ever needs a break, or if the team decides to give Winston a shot in certain situations, Detroit would have a quarterback who can perform and keep the offense moving. Looking ahead, the Lions have a real shot at making some noise this season. Their defense has been solid, their offensive line is improving, and players like Jared Goff are playing at a high level. But football is a game of depth, and having that extra piece, like Winston, can be the difference between a good season and a great one. The NFL has shown us time and again that injuries happen, unexpected situations arise, and depth becomes critical during crunch time. By trading for Winston, Detroit is proactively addressing one of their potential weak spots and reinforcing their squad for the battles ahead. And let's not forget, this move also sends a message to the rest of the league. The Lions are serious about contending. They're not just building for the future, they want to compete right now, and every move they make is aimed at that goal. Adding a player like Jameis Winston with his talent and fire is a bold statement that Detroit is here to win, that they're not settling for mediocrity, and that they're ready to fight for every inch on the field. In the end, this trade is more than just a transaction. It's a strategic chess move by the Lions front office, a way to strengthen the team's mental and physical resilience. It's about building a roster that can adapt, overcome adversity, and push through to the postseason with confidence. Jared Goff remains the unquestioned leader of this team, but with Winston on board, Detroit has a backup that can also serve as a catalyst for motivation, and if needed, a spark plug for the entire offense. So, Lions fans, what do you think about this move? Are you excited about Jameis Winston joining the team? Do you believe he can be a key piece in the Lions' quest for the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, insights, and analysis on everything Lions. Stay tuned and keep the passion alive. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news.